and welcome to Let's Talk About It with the Olusolas. My name is Ololade and Oluwole, and I am a certified marriage coach.
And my name is Olusola. I'm a life transformation coach, and I do this together with my wife, Ololade.
Yes, together we work with, couples and families in ensuring that their marriage and their family works. And you're welcome once more. I hope you've watched our first video. We did a video in January, 19 lessons we learned in 19 years. It was our 19th wedding anniversary, and we shared some lessons we learned in the past 19 years. And today, this month, we are sharing all about love. Love is Love Month, and everyone is talking about love this month. So definitely we are here to talk about love. But first, we're going to start with what love is not. What love is not. So I'm going to be starting right today. Wale, are you going to start?
No, you should start.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm a gentleman, and it should always be ladies first.
Awesome. So I'm going to be starting what love is not. So first things first, in this season, everybody's talking about love. But first, love is not sex. And we grew up in a sexed generation. The music we listen to, the adverts that we see, social media, everywhere is filled with pictures of sex. But love is more than sex. Love is a powerful, should I call it an emotion? It's even greater than emotion that God has given us to be able to live, as human beings. But love is not just sex. Love is not sex. And, when we say this, when we discuss this, when we talk about this in our coaching rooms, and of course, in advice and coaching especially for young couples, we need to be able to say this because love is, sex is very sweet. And a lot of people don't say that. Sex is very sweet. Sex is powerful. Sex is delicious. And there's a tendency when you have sex the first time, you want to have it again and again and again. Then it goes out of control. But it's important to say that has nothing to do with love. Because if love was all about sex, then when people stop, maybe they're in a relationship and they stop having sex, I think you can't attribute that to the failure of your relationship. And some people get heartbroken when they are not married to somebody and the person walks out of their life. Why are you heartbroken if love was about sex? Love is more than sex. Wally, what do you think about that?
Yeah, you're very right. Love is much more than sex. Sex is just one of the things you do when you get married. But that's not the whole essence of the marriage. And that's why we always tell people, if the reason why you got married is because of sex, what happens when your spouse can no longer have sex? Maybe your spouse has been involved in an accident that has incapacitated them, crippled them, and they can no longer have sex. Are you going to, because of that, walk out on the marriage? Or are you going to, because of that, start cheating on your wife? So love is not sex. Love is much more than sex and much more than any other thing. And another thing is that love is not a contract.
Okay, before we even go to love is not a contract, I wanted to say something on the side, which has to do with a lot of young people having, because like I said, we live in a sex generation, and a lot of young people having sex even before they get into marriage and family life and all that. And if you say that love is not sex, how do we combat? How do we tell them? How do we make them understand this truth?
Well, for us, and we go by what the Bible says, sex is something that comes after you get married, not before you get married. And you see, when you do it after you get married, you are going to enjoy it. There'll be no inhibitions. You'll feel free to express yourself. Like Ololade said earlier, sex is good. Sex is delicious, sex is pleasurable, it's enjoyable. No one is denying that, but it should come after you get married, not before you get married. And that's why we say that love is not sex. Sex is something that comes, that you can't build your marriage on sex. And like I said before, if you build your marriage on sex, what happens when you can no longer have sex?
Yeah, so advice for the younger ones and people that want to know how to control their emotions, how to control, when they have the urge to go into sex and all that. It's just control what you feed your mind in. It's all a mind game. And I always tell people, why is it a mind game? We see all kinds of things today. People do all kinds of stuff. It's important that if you want to stay away from sex before you get married, you control what you watch, you control what you listen to. It's a mind game. We're going to talk about sex in one of our episodes, so just watch out and stay tuned. So let's go to another thing. Sex is
Like
not.
I already said, sex is a mind game, and that's why you need something called self-control.
Right.
So if you imbibe the virtue of self-control, you'll be able to put your sexual desires under control until the right time. And that brings us to number 2 thing that love is not. Love is not a contract. Now, a contract is based on terms and conditions. If you do this, I will do this. That's what makes it a contract. But love is not a contract. And the reason why love is not a contract is because love is selfless. Love is not bothered about whatever the other person does or does not do. Love is totally focused on you, such that even if your partner does not give the same things you are giving, you will still go on giving yours. So love is not something you do because you are expecting something in return. It's something you do regardless of what comes in return. So if you don't know how to be selfless, you will find it hard to love. So a lot of people see love as a contract. Because I did this for you, you must do this for me. Because I didn't do this for you, you shouldn't do this to me. That's not the way love works. Love is totally selfless, right? Regardless of what the other person does or not, you just keep on loving. You just keep on loving. And once you understand that love is not a contract, it makes it easy for you to give. And when you give, you are not expecting anything in return. You are just doing it because you love that person. Because you love that person. And it's very, very important that we know that love is not a contract. Because a lot of people that have seen love as a contract have gone into relationships expecting things in return. And then, when those expectations are not met, they start asking questions.
Yes, thank you so much, Wale. Love is not a contract, but also, I just want to, balance that a bit. Is that when we are in love, you also have to use your brain. Because when we say love is not a contract and you keep giving and giving and giving to someone that is not ready to give back to you, it becomes a headache. So just like Wale has said, as you give and expect, just give in the stuff. At times, you know when the relationship is faulty, when you are in a trap. So it's important that you are able to get help, and that's what we do. All right, so the next thing I'm going to be talking about, that love is not material possessions. Love is not material possessions. Love is not what social media tells us love is. Love is not, I'm sitting up now because love is not material possessions. I want to ask you something, just like what happened to my husband. When you marry somebody that you married for money, or you married for position, or you married because of the person's possession, what happens to you when that person loses his or her material possessions, the titles, the cars, the honor that maybe because of that you marry the person? What happens? A lot of people take off, they run away, and that's not love. Because if you marry someone because of where the person lives, or what the person has, or the gift the person gives you, or you are marrying what the person has at a particular time, you have made a wrong love decision. Because when the person loses what he or she has as obtained, what is going to happen to your love? So, Wale,
anything can be lost. Anything can go missing. Everything is ephemeral, everything is temporary. So if you define your love based on material possessions, what happens when those things are no longer there?
Exactly.
And it's also important not to define love based on those things, because it means that when you lose those things, or when those things are no longer there, your definition of love totally changes, because they've been defined based on material possessions. So like Ololade said, love is not material possessions. It is something much more deeper than that.
Awesome. It's something much, much deeper than that. So what do you think love is not? Another thing that you think love is not?
One other thing love is not is that love is not a feeling, and neither is it an attraction. Feelings go and they come. Attraction doesn't last. So I've seen a lot of people love at first sight. Yes, I believe in love at first sight, but most times love at first sight is infatuation, it's attraction. So you find out that when what attracted you to that person is no longer there, you suddenly find out that you are not in love. So for example, the first time I met Ololade, it struck a chord with me that I like this babe, but my love for her is not the same as the time we first met. It has grown over time. Yeah, the attraction was there from day one, but the attraction was what eventually grew into the love that we enjoy today, which has gotten us to 19 years of marriage. So love is not a feeling. You know why? Feelings can be deceptive. Not only can feelings be deceptive, they can fluctuate. So you can't build your marriage on something that is fluctuating. So love is not a feeling. Love is not attraction, because attraction has no deep roots and can disappear at any time.
Yeah, it can disappear at any time, and thank you for that. And one very, very vivid example is sometimes when people say the girl is fine, the boy is fine, is when you are pregnant as a woman. Everything about you changes. Anything can happen. There was this funny pictures they were doing on social media before and after pregnancy, and you can't even recognize people when you're pregnant. They're like, "Is this you?" Like their color literally changes, things change, and life changes. People go through all kinds of things. So love is deeper. Yes, you should be attracted to the person that you want to marry or you are married to, or but most importantly is that love is deeper than that. So
And let me also add one thing. Make sure you don't fall in love with your wife's makeup.
right.
What happens when she removes the makeup
Exactly.
and you see the real person? So it means that the only thing that attracted you was the makeup.
Right.
So love is much more than those things and much deeper than that.
Yes, and it's so funny. One of my husband's cousins one time, and we were just speaking about marriage and all that, and she said that she just noticed that a lot of when she was dating the first two guys she dated, before she eventually got married, always said okay, her husband presently, the first time they were going out, he said they should go and swim. Apparently wanted to see her without makeup to see whether she looked good. So they went to swim together, so you could just see how she would look when she gets first thing in the morning. And it was just like, later I now confess that because I wanted to see you without makeup and be sure that I was making the right decision.
Yes, sir.
So it's important that love is deeper than what we see. Love is deeper than the attractions. Love is deeper than the sex. Love is deeper than the contracts. Love is deeper than the material possession. So if we say that love isn't all this, then what is love? What is love?
What is love?
Yes, let me start from you. What is
All
love?
right. Let me first of all say that love is friendship. Love is friendship. For example, Ololade here is my best friend. Love is about friendship. You know why? You must get married to someone that you can be vulnerable with, someone that you can be real with, someone that you can tell your true feelings without hurting each other. And the only person that you can do that with is a friend. There's nothing Ololade and I don't talk about. There's nothing we hide from each other. Because apart from the fact that we are husband and wife, we are also friends. We are also friends. We joke, we have fun, we get angry with each other, and then we make up, we forgive each other. That's what friendship is all about. We trust each other. So Ololade is my best friend, and I know that I'm also her best friend. So love is friendship. Get married to your friend. Get married to your best friend. Because down the years, one day the children will leave and you find out that it's just the both of you that are left. So a lot of people are in marriage today because what is holding them together is the children. Okay, I will manage this marriage until the children are old enough. So what happens when the children grow old?
Yeah, back
So
to square
what
one.
sustains that marriage over the years is the friendship. So for whatever it is worth, marry your friend, because love is all about friendship.
Awesome. So, so what is love? Love is deep. I don't know. Because of the work we do, and sometimes when people are going through traumatic experiences in their relationships, marriages, and family life, we see that we see love. How people love people. People even love people to a fault. And sometimes it's just so amazing to see the power of love. And I would say, to me at this time, that love is a choice. And sometimes it's just sad that people choose wrong choices for love. Love is a very deep choice that you make. And sometimes when people say, "Oh, I'm so in love with him, I'm so in love with that," it's because they have chosen to give that person their heart, even when the person is probably messing up with their heart. So love is a very deep choice that you make for your life. And one of the reasons why we started this channel is for us to help us to make better love choices and look at our love life and our marriages, our relationship, and say, is it worth choosing this person on this journey of love? When we think about 25 years, when we think about 50 years, will the legacy of our love be worth it? So it's important that we say that love is a choice. It's a choice that you make for your heart. So yeah.
Yeah, and because love is a choice, it means there must be no coercion, there must be no manipulation, there must be no force.
Yeah.
Once you start manipulating, once you go into coercion, once you start forcing your spouse to do something, it's no longer love. That has now become a dictator and a subject relationship. But love is all about making that choice. I wasn't forced to love Ololade. I made that choice to love her. And I can say with every sense of responsibility and humility that that's one of the best choices I have ever made. The choice to love her, it's a choice I will keep making even if I come into this world a second time. So love is a choice. If you are in a relationship where you are being coerced, where you are being manipulated, where you are being forced against your will to do things, where you are being emotionally blackmailed, that's a red flag that you shouldn't be in that relationship, because love is a choice. I chose to love you,
Yeah.
and I've chosen to remain in love with you.
Awesome. I just love you too, my guy. Awesome. So that's it. And thank you for adding that to that discussion. But I think I'm going to throw it back to you now. One of the things that love is, again, that you can give us.
Love is consistency. All the things that made you fall in love, you shouldn't stop them. You should continue to do them. So love is all about consistency. Always looking for ways to be better in that relationship. Now, somebody said something that if you stop saying it, it is because you stopped doing it. So if you are no longer getting vibes from your spouse, from your wife, or from your husband, check the things you've been doing. Because love is something that you don't retire from.
Right.
It is something you keep refiring. You keep refiring, right? Because love is about consistency. You don't stop doing things in love. You continue doing them, because those things are the oxygen of your love. They are the petrol that you keep adding into the fire of your love. So love is all about consistency. What you did to your wife in courtship, you should do after you get married. What you did yesterday, you should do today, you should do tomorrow, because love is all about that consistency, doing the same things that you've always done. And you see, as long as you are consistent in love, it makes it impossible for there to be any kind of wedge in your relationship, or for there to be any third party, because love is totally all about consistency.
Consistency. And it's important that we continue to do the things that make our marriage work, the things that are spice, and we continue to grow. We can't just stay there. If you are seeing life, nature grows. You don't even need to demand from nature. nature grows. So it's important that we say that. I think lastly for me, I'm going to be saying that love is commitment. You have, and that's marriage, that's life. There's nothing that we enjoy, there's nothing that we love that we will not be committed to. So love is commitment in love. And it's important that we commit. It's a deep, 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 deep feeling, of affection, of love, of, I don't know, but basically it's for us to know that love is commitment. And you have to commit to love. You have to be there. Some people say, I love him, but I don't call him. I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense to me, because whatever you are committed to, you put time into it, you put energy into it, you put resources into it, you want it to work. So if you are committed to your work, you are showing up for your work. If you are committed to love, you are showing up for love. And it's important that we are able to do that, for us to make our marriages work, for us to make our families work. We show up for our families. We show up for the people that we say we love. And it's important that we do that even for our spouses. We do that even for our marriages. We do that for our families. We show up. We show up in terms of commitment. And that is the lifeline of it. And when we say, let's talk about love, let's talk about love, let's talk about love.
And because love is commitment, it means that it's going to cost you something.
Of course.
Because whatever you are committed to, it must come at a cost.
Yes.
So love is commitment. It means that love is loyalty, and love is about faithfulness, right? If you are committed to someone, you'll be faithful to the person.
Yes.
If you are faithful to that person, you are going to be loyal to that person. So love is not just about commitment that happens once in a while. It is commitment 24/7. I'm committed to Ololade. I've been committed to her from day one. I'm still committed to her, and I'll be committed to her forever. So love is about commitment, which means that it's not something you step into with one foot forward, but it's something you step into with the whole of your body, because love is about, you immerse yourself totally in that relationship, because love is about commitment. For me, 99% commitment is not enough. It must be 100% commitment. If it is 99% commitment, it means that you are giving that 1% to somebody.
Exactly.
You are giving it to someone else. So it must be 100% commitment to your wife, to the institution of marriage under God. Love is all about commitment.
Yes, and when we say love here, I think we should also say that it's important that this, YouTube, we focus a lot on marriages, and that's what we work with. Are we saying that singles cannot learn from this? No, but when you have a focus, it's easier to hit target. So marriages and families, is important for us to know that we just don't wait for 1 month to be able to show love. Love should be a daily thing. It should be something that you do every day. It should be your life. Your wife and your husband should hear it all the time. They hear it from us. We are talking on the phone. I love you. We are going to bed.
I love you.
We don't wait. In our house, we don't wait for February to show love. Love should be something you do all the time. And we are praying that as you have watched this video today, that will be the decision you take to express true love to each other. And of course, most importantly, the love of God. So we hope you've enjoyed this episode today, and we hope you'll be checking it out. We'd love to read from you. We'd love to see your comments. We want to hear what you think. And please don't forget to share this with a loved one. What will be your closing remarks?
All right, my closing remarks is just that. Just go out there and love. Love, be committed in your love, be consistent in your love. Make that choice to love, and then you'll get it back in return from your spouse. So your relationship will work, your marriage will also work, and you'll just keep getting better.
Yes, and you have your family to show for the work of love that you put in. So God bless you and have a wonderful, wonderful time. We'll be back with another episode. Do not forget to please share what you think in the comment section, to share with those you love, to like our page, to subscribe to our page. And as you do that, we know that we love you and we appreciate you. All right, see you next time. Bye.